What you can see on screen is a custom multi-category tag that I created for one of my clients that I'm currently working with. Now, this is just really a proof of concept. It's not the final tag, and it needs some tidying up in terms of the dimensions and where the text labels are, etc. But what the client required was a multi-category tag that had different types, and each type had its own different shape and background color, so that they could apply this to all sorts of components in a plan view and create a long schedule of equipment. Now, all the equipment was on different categories. Some were plumbing fixtures, some were specialty equipment, etc. So they wanted one schedule, so we used a multi-category schedule to collect all those items together. And then they wanted to tag all the items with their type mark. But they then wanted a quick, easy visual reference as to the type of component that it was being tagged. And they wanted to do that by means of a symbol, so like a square or circle, etc. And each one coloured differently. So to try and come up with a solution that was efficient as possible, I created this multi-category tag. Now if I click on that, you'll see it's got three types, and if I swap, we get a blue background, swap it again, and we've got a red one. So three different background colors with three corresponding different shapes. So in this tutorial, I'm just going to explain how this works. I'm not going to take you through step by step, but I'll explain the concepts of how this was achieved. So to do so, I need to edit the tag. This brings up the family editor. Now if we zoom in, so if you are trying to recreate something like this yourself, just start with the standard multi-category tag template. Add a label, so this is a label here. Then you need to edit that and add in whatever information you want displayed in the tag. And say the client in this case wanted the type mark from the components displayed, so that gets added in here. So that's the easy part. The more complex, or the crux of the issue, is these changing background. So what I did was set up three different types. So if I bring up the family types, so there is our blue, green and red type. I then created three parameters here: blue on, green on and red on. Now I'm going to use these to control the visibility of the filled regions, and these are just simply filled regions of different types, so I could change the background color, etc. So these first three parameters here are of the checkbox or the yes no type, so they're either on or they're off. So then I have to have a way of automatically turning those on or off depending on which type is currently selected. So that's where this fourth parameter comes into play. So this is an integer parameter, and I've called it type, and the value I've just manually set to each of these. So in our red family type, I set the value of this property to 3. So these three parameters here are constantly checking the value of that, and if type equals 3, which it does in this case, then the yes no parameter called red on is ticked. Obviously the other two don't meet that condition, so they're off. So if I just put that away for a second, so if I select that filled region, the filled region itself has a property called visible. Now normally that tick box is available for you to manually turn that on or off. However, if you click the little button at the end there, associate family parameter, you can control this parameter by another one. So if I click on that, and we can see that that parameter is controlled by this property here, red on. So as we saw in the family types, red on currently is set to positive, so it's ticked. That then means this is ticked, and it makes this is visible. Obviously the other two shapes are not. They've got similar association with their corresponding controlling tick box parameters, so they're off. So in each of the family types, only one of these filled regions is displayed at any one time. And of course you can use that principle To create different effects, you might want certain text notes or symbols to come on or off depending on what type is selected or what other parameters are ticked in the instance fields there. So hopefully this just conveys that you're not stuck with the out-of-the-box elements, tags, etc. in Revit, and if there's a certain way you would like it to operate, there is a very good chance with a little bit of creativity that you can create something that works for how you need it to.